Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how I got my very first social media marketing client, and hopefully if you've started on your social media marketing journey and you haven't signed your first client, this will serve as motivation and inspiration for you to keep going, that if you don't stop, anything is possible. Hi, I'm Arturo Johnson, and if we haven't met, I have a company with two offers, and the first one is a social media marketing agency where we help life insurance agents go from 0 to 100K per month. And in this agency, we do about 300K per month every single month, as well as we have a coaching program that helps entrepreneurs who started a social media marketing agency scale from getting their first client all the way up to 10, even 20K per month. And we've sold over very close to $10 million in sales online since 2019. So if you stick around to the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what I did to get my first client, to inspire you so that you don't have to make the exact same mistakes I did to sign client after client, month after month after month. And so when I first started out on my entrepreneur journey, I was a server at a restaurant in downtown Nashville, and everything was going good. I was probably making about $1,000 a week, so I was making about 50 grand a year. But toward the end of 2018, I just felt like I just wanted to change. I needed to shift. And so went to church one day and ran into a friend I went to college with, and he was in a suit. He was looking very nice, well kept. And he was like, hey man, reach out to me. I got some amazing things going on. I just love to chat with you so we can catch up. Fast forward, he was in the insurance industry. He recruited me in. I got started. He was my upline. And man, that was probably some of the toughest time in my life. For like 9 months, I struggled getting out of my warm market and consistently getting clients. And quite frankly, that being the hardest 9 months of my life was also what I call the $1 million year of my life, because I was in so much pain that if I could figure this out, I knew I was going to go on to make a bunch of money. So I ended up trying to replicate a system, but every time I asked somebody what to do, they just couldn't tell me, man. And I was like, well, it sounds like nobody actually knows how to consistently generate leads and get booked appointments to get clients. So if I can figure this out, all of you guys are going to be my clients. It was a couple of days before Christmas. I'm sitting downstairs on the couch. I'm fed up, got no-showed and stood up that day. And I'm like, man, I went to Fisk University, and there is a Meharry Medical College right across the street, and Emory, Howard, and Fisk have produced more African-American doctors in the US than any of the schools. So I'm pretty sure that if my niche is medical professionals, that I could find some people that may need my help with insurance. And so I coined myself the student loan doctor. I show these people how student loans work, and then off the back end of that, I showed them a couple processes using some infinite banking strategies for them to be able to save, in the future be able to pay down their debts without having to use any money outside of what was in their insurance policy. Once I got that to work, the challenge that I was having is that the lead gen that I was using was so manual. I would have to spend probably about 4 hours, 2 hours sending out messages, and then 2 hours responding to them. And I would like send out 2 hours worth of messages, then respond to the messages the day before, and then the next day I would do that, and so on and so forth. Well, one of the challenges that I was having with that was I was just running out of time, because I started to compound and I was having appointments. So when I was having appointments, I couldn't respond. And then when I couldn't respond because I was in meetings, I was losing money. So that's when I was like, man, I wonder if there's some way to automate this. I'm still green as a blade of grass in entrepreneurship. I haven't even moved over to getting online, so I can't figure out anything that Facebook does to let you automate the messages. And that's when I stumbled across LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, most people overlook it because it's seen as this business networking platform. But for me, once I realized what it actually started out with, the initial conditions, I was like, oh, this is perfect. LinkedIn started out as a job search network. So that meant that all the corporations had profiles on there. And then everybody that wanted to be an employee for that job, they had to fill out one of these profiles. So that means that it would make it really easy if LinkedIn was set up properly and some smart people created this platform for me to find my ideal customers, which were life insurance agents. So I hop on LinkedIn, create me an account, create me a profile, and start typing in life insurance agents. And lo and behold, I'd say about 1 million people in the audience. And now I can search from age, years of experience, demographics, And now I've got tons of leads at my fingertips, but I was still running into the same challenge. I was wondering if some of this could be automated. So started using LinkedIn, and I was able to find more medical professionals that I was looking for in my niche. And in that month, I booked 93 meetings with doctors making between 100,000 to 500,000. And I was the number one agent in my group. And once I figured that out, I was like, okay, I'm onto something. So from there, I went and taught this to another agent, and we were able to sell a bunch of insurance doing that. And I remember I sat in on a meeting with him. We called it joint work, where it was kind of a ride along, and I helped him to sign a Nashville police officer for $500 a month. And that's when I was like, okay, resignation, I'm about to start my own business. Now, the challenge that I had was I didn't know anything about this whole social media marketing, this online thing. I just had an idea and a tiny proof of concept and a ton of optimism. And so with that, I'm easily motivated. I was like, okay, I need to figure out this online thing. So I hopped into one of those $9.97 courses. Shout out to Sam Ovens, because he showed me what digital marketing was, introduced me to consulting and a social media marketing agency. And from there, I realized that I had something that could work. But the challenge was it was so manual that I had to do all the work by hand. So I spent probably 4 hours every single day doing the same process over, sending out messages and responding to them. At this time, I switched over to helping life insurance agents to get leads and generate clients at this point. I hadn't actually got a client, but I tested this out on myself to see if I could book some calls. And I remember like it was yesterday, I actually reached out to a couple life insurance agents that were at a previous company. They just weren't in the same city, and they were interested, and his name was Stephen Noah. You can still look him up today. I had a 15-minute quick chat with him. Then I had a 45-minute strategy session with him, and he said he wanted to think about it. He wanted to ask his wife because he was just about to get married, and he was from Boston, and he said he'd call me back. And I talked to him about 3 o'clock, and so my shift started at 4, so I was on the way to work, and he messaged me. And when I got to work, I had pre-shift, so I ran out of pre-shift, and I called him back. I ran down in the stairwell with my apron on, and I signed my very first client for $500. Now, here's the caveat to that. I was using this software to automate this process at this time because it was so manual, called Linked Helper. And it was a Chrome browser extension that you could plug into your computer. And then Linked Helper, if you left your laptop open, it would send automated connection messages and then send the first message to your prospect, whoever accepted your request on LinkedIn. Well, the challenge with that is one, you had to leave your computer open. Well, I worked at night from 4 to 12, so I would just leave my laptop plugged into the wall. And at that time it was the kitchen table right here, and I would just let it run, and then when I come back I would check the messages, and it was okay. It worked just fine to maybe book me like 1 to 2 calls per day. But the other challenge was that at some point we all been through the Google slap, which is where they changed the algorithm. Well, LinkedIn changed this algorithm too, and it banned the software. So now I just started my business. I'm looking forward to getting clients. And right before I signed this client, he had responded to the message. And that's when I was driving into work, had the phone call with him. He said yes, and I signed him up. Now I signed him up with a money back guarantee of $500 that within 30 days, if I didn't get him results, I would give him a refund. Well, it's funny in business how things work. See, the reason why most people don't have success and they don't get started is because they think they need to know everything before they actually get started in order to have success. But it's quite the opposite. You need to get started before you know exactly what you need to do in order to have success. And this is called the green dot theory. And the reason why this is important because, see, most people think that you need to learn what to do in order to have success. Is quite the opposite. Ironically, you learn what not to do in order to have success. And so you limit the things of not to do and focus on doing a couple of things that are working. And that's actually how you continue to have success. So I signed this guy up in the stairwell, send him the link. He pays $500 while I'm sitting there in the stairwell in my apron, and I look down and $500 comes across my phone, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy, right? And so I still got to go and work. It's like 4:30, and I got sat with a table, and I didn't even care because I knew that somebody over the internet went through my process and they gave me $500. And I was like, oh man, this is crazy. And I went through that shift just thinking like, I can't believe this. I don't even remember what happened through that shift. I feel bad for the tables that I had to wait on that day because I was so high on life. I was pretty much floating through and levitating at that point, super excited. And so I signed him up, and lo and behold, I knew that I was gonna have to work day and night to try to figure out how to get this guy results because LinkedIn Helper had just gotten banned. But what happened was he didn't tell me till after I signed him. He's like, hey, I actually have this software that I got from a buddy of mine. He didn't really know how to use it. I'm a little bit more tech savvy than him, but I still haven't been able to figure it out myself. So I was like, okay. I went and took a look at it, and lo and behold, it's the exact software that I needed that I couldn't get access to because you had to get referred to me. So when I signed him up as a client, we onboarded him. He gave me his login to this, and I immediately went to the admin and requested to get myself an account, and I set up myself an account. And this automation software was a game changer for me. This software by far was the most pivotal moment in my business, because if I wouldn't have signed him up as a client, I wouldn't have got access to this software. And this software went on to make me my very first $1 million. And the reason why this is important is because I worked with this guy trying to figure this software out that just paid me $500 with a 30-day money back guarantee. And at the end of the month, guess what happened? I didn't get him any results. And man, that was tough. It absolutely crushed me. It crushed my self-esteem. It crushed my momentum. It had me thinking I was an imposter. It really had me down. It was a big, huge kick in the teeth. But one of the things that I remembered from that was now I had the tool I needed to have success. And so the only thing I had to do was get better. And if anybody is watching this video, and if you're having negative self-talk and people are on your back, or people telling you you need to go and get a regular job, or it's too crazy that 90% of businesses fail, I want to tell you one thing: believe in your ability to figure it out. And that's the belief that I had. So from there, I ended up using that software to now start generating 4 to 8 15-minute chats every single day, which turned into 4 strategy sessions every single day. And from there, I went from charging $500 using lead gen, because now this software, I could actually use it, hook it up to their LinkedIn, and run multiple campaigns in parallel. And now I got a system. And so I went from charging $500 now with having this software, because it costs money, to charging my next client, which was Greg Jackson. I think I charged him $1,500. And then I went on to get another client at $2,000. And within 6 months and 29 days, I went from having 0 results and having to give a refund to getting to 10K per month, just like that. And that was a game changer for me. And just looking back, man, at that time, dude, that was the best feeling I've had. And my agency has gone on to do 300 grand a month every single month consistently. And even today, I can look at my Stripe right now, and I think we made 10 grand today on the holiday, right? Which is absolutely crazy to say. Yeah, actually, look at that. It says 10K for today. And right now on the 15th, we're at 170,000 for the month. And making that very first 10K per month really took the weight off my shoulders. I had proved it to myself. I had proved it to my friends, to my family, that I was somebody that I had made it in the business world, and I had impacted, because I was now able to get clients on demand. More importantly, I was able to duplicate the same results for my clients and get testimonials. And that's when I knew that I was onto something special. In the end, there's a couple of things that I want to say. Is number one, stick to the plan, have unwavering faith, but more importantly, to put in the work. You see, most people get started on something with a goal, with blind optimism, and the moment that they get punched in the face, you know what they do? They second guess it. They make up excuses of why it's not gonna work, or they go back to the previous state that they were in. But you're different. What I want you to do is I want you to be the difference. I want you to get up every single day. I want you to look at your goals. I want you to speak positivity over your life, and I want you to get to work. You see, here's the truth that none of the gurus will tell you. If you figure out exactly what actions that you need to take, you are unstoppable, and there's nothing that can stop you unless you quit. So If you put in the right activity, you can have the right outcome. The name of the game is outreach, outreach, outreach. Do direct outreach that turns into quality conversations and appointments. And strategy sessions are appointments. Strategy sessions equals money. The more strategy sessions that you do, the more money that you will make. And then the last piece is don't compare your chapter 1 to my chapter 20. Because see, I started right where you were. And the only thing that I knew is that strategy sessions equal money. So I spent all day doing two things: generating strategy sessions and doing strategy sessions. And the only difference between me and you is that I'm able to generate more strategy sessions than you in a month. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was inspiring to somebody that's got started on a journey and may have hit a snag because business isn't as easy as the gurus that signed you up to their $9.97 course is. All I'm saying is continue to fight and believe in your ability to figure it out. If you're making less than 10K per month in your social media marketing agency, you want to get to $1 million, what I want you to do is click the link below in the description. It's going to take you to a place where it's going to show you exactly step by step how I was able to do the exact same thing from where you are to $1 million in less than 18 months. It's going to take you to a page. It's going to take you to a sales page where you're going to watch a video, convince you to book a call with us. Then we're going to hop on a call. We're going to carve out and map out where you are to where you want to be, and ultimately see if we can help you to make this year the best year of your life, to give you some time freedom, some location freedom, and duty freedom to work when and wherever you want. I hope this video was helpful. God bless.